Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Insight Show here on MadhouseTV.com. You know it's there, otherwise you wouldn't be watching it. We have an interesting show for you tonight. We've done this once in the past, and it was a big success, and I think it's going to be that way again. Just to make it official, what I always start the show with is always that this is the theme that I stole from, I borrowed from Oh God, which is the George Burns movie, which is to thank God. And I'm going to leave you with that so I can get out of that. I said it's October 16th. It's Thursday night. It's about 8 o'clock or so. And right alongside of me, I have Rich Walker. You know him from Stand Up University. He's the funny man in charge of that school. And he's a panic to be with. And he's going to introduce the other guests we have with us tonight. Hello, Rich. How you doing?
How are you? It's really good to be here. And it's just hard talking to you. You look like a Thanksgiving centerpiece.
Yes. And you know what's funny?
Wait, hold on. There was a sound in the background. A Thanksgiving centerpiece. He stepped on my line by dropping a piece of luggage.
Well, we're also not used to being...
It's his wallet. That's very festive what you're sitting in the middle right there.
Well, normally we're in the New York City set, or like this is the first time in a long time that I've been in the Johnny Carson seat.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like this is like what they put on top of like an October casket with the candle. And, no, it's cool.
What are you trying to say, Rich?
This is the comedy.
Are you trying to say that I...
No, I like it.
It's very festive, yes.
Yes.
I'm not used to having this stuff here either, and I got a candle burning too, so...
Yes. Is there any reason why we have that candle burning?
Just to be an annoyance to me, it's about it. No, it's pretty. It's pretty.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm not even going to say the religious end, well, you know, the candle represents that we have God.
Right.
But no, it's just the candle is burning. It's going to be flicking and annoying the heck
Right
out of
in
me.
front of you
Right in front of me, yes. I will move that very shortly. Right? I'll be
You're
moving
going
it.
to have to because you got 3 other comedians that aren't going to stop talking about it.
Right, well, I'm going to start moving it as soon as you start introducing the next one next to you.
The gentleman to my right is somebody I've had the honor of working with for, well, at least I've been in this business for 20 years, so you must be in it for what?
About 40.
40. This is High-Powered Howard right here next to me. And the gentleman next to him is a man I just met for the first time tonight, but I've heard super things about him out there, and I hear his name popping up as Joe Capella.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, you know.
Yeah.
Sitting next to these two, 60 years worth of experience here, you know, in my 6 months, you know.
Okay, well, I built you up as this 10-year guy, and then you knocked it back down again. Okay, that's good, though.
There's no hazing, right? No hazing.
No hazing.
No hazing. No hazing.
The guy I heard such great things about. I've been doing it for
It's been a
6
great.
months.
It's been a great 6 months, though. It has been a great 6 months.
You've done a lot in that
I've
6
done a lot in
months.
those 6
He
months.
did 10 years in that 6
That's
months.
it, you know.
Yeah. It's so
Man's always working.
And then the gentleman on the end, I had the honor. He's actually a stand-up comedian that took my class to brush up his act and sharpen his skills a little bit, and we helped him out with some writing and stuff like that. And he just was super. We just had our graduation show this week, and he blew everybody away. And that's Todd Turner, right there.
All right, Todd. Welcome, everybody. That's something else, too, that your graduation, when you graduate from your course, which is, what, 6 weeks or something like
That's right. It's a 7-week class. 5 weeks is classroom. The 6th week is the show.
And that's at, like...
It's at one of the Governor's Club, Brokerage in Belmore is where we teach the class out of now. And then the 7th week is a wrap-up class where
Well,
we watch the DVD, we tell them what they did wrong, what they did right, and we have a lot to say to Todd.
You know, with the
this week
brokerage,
coming up.
they send me a lot of these, eight people can come on one ticket or whatever it is. Is that the night when you guys are there and that type of thing? They get these...
Not really. It's a special show. It's almost like a recital, and they bring their family and friends all to come in. And not to say we wouldn't take the coupon if they had it, but I mean, it's
take all
great the way
coupons.
you cheapened it.
Bring in, they'll take Kohl's from you and everything. Just bring your Kohl's coupons in.
Yeah.
And no, I'm kidding.
Well, this shirt's from Kohl's. I got it for $6.40 at Kohl's. It was on that sales rack. You know,
Plus you're 30% off on top of the coupon.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Use
sure.
your Kohl's bucks.
So they paid me
Yes,
$3.60 to
good.
take
That's
it
a good
off
deal.
the shelf.
Yeah.
I actually bought a whole bunch of stuff there, and I saved $124, and I spent $23.
How do they make any money? That's what
I
I
don't
even
know. And then you bring it back if it don't work, and then
You walk away with a whole wardrobe from Kohl's.
for $20.
You could bring a homeless man in there and dress him all up for the week.
Oh,
And
my.
it's $12. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It is
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. Write that down.
Yeah. So, but it's fun.
Now, with Howard right here, Howard
Yes.
and I, we've worked together a few times. He's been on the show a few times. I've had the pleasure of working with him at Sergio's restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
That was September with Steve Mitchell, which is an Elvis Presley impersonator. Steve has been on the show many times as well. We rocked the house. We had a full house.
Wow.
It was amazing. Matter of fact, Janine, if you'd be so kind, if you could put that flyer up, we're going to be back there again on November 7th.
Yeah, actually, I remember at that show, at the end of the show, half the audience were on their feet. Yeah, they ran out of chairs.
Janine was laughing.
That's funny.
We got to get a microphone in that sound booth because she laughs. She has a great laugh, and it's wasted in there because she's
Yeah,
not
it
on.
is.
We got to get
Might
your
laugh.
microphone in there, Janine. See, you hear her?
I heard it.
Can't hear her out here, but in there she's cracking up.
It's like a chirp. From here you hear a chirp.
So we'll be back there again on November 7th, and that's at
That's nice.
on Merrick
Sergio's.
Road in Massapequa.
Yeah.
And it's like cheap. It's like $35, tax and tip included for dinner and a cash bar. And I'll make a commercial out of it. Let's see.
It's really funny.
Wait a minute. I got it right here. She's got it up on the screen already. But anyway, that's for a dinner show Friday night, November 7th. Come join, laugh a night away with comedy and comedy stylings of high-powered Howard. And of course, myself will be doing the singing. And that's 6:30 dinner show, 8:30 show. And it's a great time. It really
Yeah,
is a good time.
go
You got
see
to
that.
come down. So, matter of fact, you can play this back a
Comedy
few
and
times.
music. That's how they used to do shows. They always had, like, whenever you saw a comedian, it would be opened up by a singer. Or if you had a singer, it was always opened up by a comedian. You don't see that
Well, we
anymore.
can start doing that now, Rich. If
Yeah.
you'd like, I can open up for you. I don't mind.
I'd love it.
Anyway, the phone number is
Or are you?
516-541-6554, 541-6554. Play it back a few times, get it, come on down. That's it. Commercial's done. So, yeah, I'll open up for any one of you guys. Just let me know when. I come down with my tracks.
All right.
Yeah. So, go right ahead. I'm just all ears.
You kind of, what was the fellow you said that played Elvis?
Steve Mitchell.
See, I have a great story. I live in a condo community, and every year we were doing comedy, little comedy shows there, for everybody. And we used to get like 100 people in there. And then one year they said, we're not going to do comedy. And then I forgot what they had a band playing, and then like a USO kind of playing all USO, old 40s kind of stuff. And then the year after they had Elvis, and then they had the comedy back again, and I was kind of insulted. And one of my jokes was, I didn't think that they can get any lower. Like, the comedian is like the lowest form of entertainment
Not
for
to
them.
me.
I mean, the only thing after us would have been the kids at Christmas time singing in the living room with that show.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mean, that's like,
You'd open for them.
we opened for them.
Yeah, I've opened in a few places like that, too. Matter of fact, I've opened in places that, like in the Blues Brothers, the bar with the wire mesh,
Oh, yeah, you played, but wow.
a place called Bulldogs in Brooklyn,
Wow.
a place just like that.
Hank Williams used to play in like dives like that. He never saw his fame, but there was one of the scenes in the show. I saw the Hank Williams story or something like that. They were throwing beer bottles at him, and
That's
they
if
were
you like it,
smashing.
yeah.
If they like you, that's a compliment.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Wow. So you must have been soaked.
Well, thank you very much.
That's okay.
That was very nice. It was a little, kind of threw me in there. There's got to be a zinger
I'm
coming in.
working here for you.
There's got to be a zinger coming in there. Guys, jump in anytime you want. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, what about yourself now? You're an expert now at 6 months.
6
You,
months, probably,
you've been
yeah.
playing places like, ooh,
No, actually, I'm excited about next Tuesday. I'll be in Manhattan at the Broadway Comedy Club. Sheba Basin, Jackie's daughter, for a showcase she's doing.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
a good show.
Jackie's daughter, Jackie the Joke Man's daughter?
No,
No.
not Jackie the Joker, Jackie Mason.
Oh, Jackie Mason.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, Jackie Mason.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's
Yeah, I
still
saw her show. She did a show about her her being the daughter.
Really?
She did a Broadway show about that.
Yeah, so
I saw that.
I'm
That was
excited
pretty
about
good.
meeting her and doing that show
She's cool.
next Tuesday, and then I got.
There's not too many Sheba Mason impersonators that would want to be the daughter of Jackie Mason.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But she's
talk
very
like-
funny.
does she talk like that too?
She's fun.
You know, I talked to her. It's a real funny story when I called
Well,
her up.
good. We want funny stories.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
so when I called her up to set this thing up, and at first we got disconnected, and then I don't know if it was her, and then she called me back, and she was, "Oh, I thought you were a bill collector." And I was like, "Oh." She goes, "Oh, okay." I said, "What are you in seclusion?" It was like, it was kind of funny the way we just met, but she seems like a real, funny person, and so I can't wait for that. And then, like I said, in Huntington, I'll be at November 8th, the Big Kahuna. Okay, and then November 22nd, on a Saturday, I'll be back at my second home at the Clarion Hotel with Mike Dillon, one of Mike Dillon's shows.
Oh, good. The
And
Gateway
so
of Comedy.
So I'm looking forward to that. And it's kind of funny, I was just mentioning that you live in a condo, because I just moved into a condo myself. And it's great, I tell you, because I've gotten so good at bingo now. Yeah.
It's a requirement.
Yes,
Otherwise, you have to
No, a lot of people don't know.
ask
You know how they play bingo in Afghanistan?
No, how's that?
B-52, F-14.
That's great.
Planes over there.
I said,
This is a Christian show.
you
So,
play
Todd-
bocce ball in yours?
We did, but then nobody used the court,
Okay.
and then they ended up. It became a giant planter now. But we have tennis courts that nobody plays on either.
Okay,
The only reason why they keep the tennis courts is so we could sell these dumps when we want to move. These are our tennis courts, and they're lit till 11 o'clock at night. But nobody even notices when the real estate brings them. There's trees growing in the middle of the court. There hasn't been a net on the court in 15 years. Nobody notices.
It's now shuffleboard, yeah.
Yeah.
But what about you, Tom? Where are you going to be? What you up to?
Well, we said earlier, I just took Rich's class, Stand Up to You. Yeah, I wasn't planning on taking the class. I actually met him at Kohl's. So it was,
Buying,
Yeah.
buying his outfit, yeah.
no, he tried to take my shirt off. And yeah, I took the class. I'll be we're doing another show there in sometime, right? Another couple weeks.
Yeah.
I do Laughing Devil every so often when I can get out there in Long Island City. And
Laughing Devil.
yeah, you heard of that?
No. But then I don't get out much.
Nor will he ever. It's a laughing devil.
Yes.
Yeah, quick.
Right.
So I tell you what, since I'm hosting, I get to be in the show.
Why not? You're here.
I'm going to throw out a word for you, and I'd like you to come up with
Yeah.
something for it. I mentioned this word before to you, so you're a little disadvantaged, but give me a topic on school. What do you think?
School.
I could say that I've been reading about all these high school kids getting caught cheating on their tests, and I'm just thinking like kids must be like really stupid these days. I remember when I was in school, I never got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to
We got caught.
would never get caught. I went to a community college. Community college is a great place to go because you don't get hassled with all those job opportunities afterwards. So it's nice. It's relaxing.
That's good. And my kid is. I have two kids, 9 and 10, and my daughter is. My son is in school, and well, silly, both of them are in school, but every day they hit us. So this is not funny, but they hit us up with more stuff to buy. I'm constantly shelling out more money for these kids, and my attitude is I always said to my son, I said, you tell them that they're going to buy the wrapping paper, go to the teachers, go to the principal, go down the whole hallway, hit up all the teachers for everything, so I don't got to buy it, right? I thought that would be a lot funnier. And it just laid there.
Sometimes it happens.
It happens.
It's like the new math. Have you ever seen that new math? And I'm not trying to make a joke, because I'm not a
Yeah.
jokester.
Yes.
But, I mean, they go through all these steps to
Yeah.
come up with, 20 minus 10 equals, and then they got these boxes. And
Yeah.
well, I tell you what, before we go any further with this, I'm having a great time. We're going to break for a commercial, so don't go away, and we'll be back right after these words. What do you think? Let's sell some stuff.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Alrighty, we're back, and with a bunch of comedians. We have Rich Walker, my co-host for tonight. We have High-Powered Howard, my buddy, Joe Capella, and Todd Turner. And you were about to talk about something about school, you were saying?
Yeah, I was doing comedy when I was in school. I was 8 years old at show and tell. The teacher says, "Howard, what does your father do for a living?" I said, "My father's a magician." She says, "That's so interesting. What types of tricks does he do?" I said, "He saws people in half." She said, "That's incredible. You have any brothers or sisters?" I said, "Yes, I have a half brother and a half sister." Then she said, "Come on, Howard, I know you're a comedian. I know you're messing around. What does your father really do for a living?" I says, "Okay, my father's a lawyer." She says, "Honest?" I said, "No, the other kind." Dishonest.
Yes,
Dishonest.
it's terrific.
Well, I tell you what, let's hit you another favorite topic of mine. How about politics?
Oh, politics, yes.
I'm throwing it at you first, Todd. Go ahead. No, whoever. I'm just kidding. I don't put any pressure on you.
You know, it's been 2 years since Obama's been reelected. You know, a lot of people forgot who he ran against. You guys remember who he ran against?
Oh, that's McCain.
Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney.
That guy disappeared. You don't hear about that guy anymore.
No.
But on election night, he was very confident he was going to win the election. He told his wife, "Tomorrow morning, you'll be making love to the President of the United States." They woke up the next morning. She says, "Mitt, darling, what time's Obama coming over?"
Yeah, that was a
That was
kind of
the.
a sad thing.
That was.
Yeah.
He got beat up pretty bad. So politics. Joe, anything?
No, I'm still with schools. I'm sorry. You can't,
But no child left behind.
You
Combined.
can't switch me up like that.
When you talk about some politics that's going on in schools?
I don't care. I'm going to talk about schools. Okay, some of the best drugs I got were in schools, so that's what I'm going to talk about.
Were there no politics there?
No, I'm not into politics. I couldn't, it's not my thing. But anyway, about schools.
Well, you can talk about schools.
Yeah,
Everybody else talk about
my daughter
politics.
just graduated. She's going to be a math teacher, and I had to laugh because she was Hispanic, and she took 4 years of Spanish in high school. She would come home every day and with the book and just, what does this mean? I didn't have a clue what the hell she was talking about. I mean, after 4 years, the best she could say was, "¿Cuántos años tú tienes?" How old are you? And that's what she learned in 4 years of Spanish, to a point where she got to college. And she had to take she had to go to advanced Spanish because she had taken so long. And the teacher, according to her, was picking on her. And she couldn't find a thing. To make a long story short, she ended up taking Italian and speaks it better than Spanish. And that's
She
why.
couldn't say nothing to the teacher in Spanish?
No, we won't go to that part. But that's it.
Romney came up with a really funny joke about Obama, but that was, I'm not a comedian, so I wouldn't want to ruin it, but it was about,
Well, thanks for leading us on.
well, I was going to continue it.
Oh,
but-
okay,
but
yes,
it-
here.
It's about a man goes into the bank, he didn't have his ID card,
Right.
didn't have any idea. He says, well, what do you do? And he mentioned the guy's name, Carl Palmer or something, some golfer or whatever.
Right.
So he says, well, how do you know, how can I prove that you're who you say? So he gets a golf ball and he hits the dart. And he says, okay, well, how would you like your money? I believe who you are. Right? Another guy comes in, another guy forgot his, and the same type of thing, where he said, I'm Mickey Mantle. How do I know that? He belts this ball and says, okay, how do you want it? So Obama comes in, he doesn't have his ID. He says, I understand, you want your money, but I have no idea, who you are. I mean, I understand it, but you have no ID. He goes, well, can you do something that will show me who you are? And he stops for a second, he goes, I haven't got a clue. He goes, how do you want your money? Tens, fives? That was it.
Let's move on to the third word.
That didn't come on, that was funny, but I can't say it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I didn't do it. It was
You know what it is? It's like
the
a
delivery.
time.
I know. I didn't have the delivery
Right.
timing time because I'm not a comedian. I don't know.
Who do you think's running in the next election?
I think it's going to be Hill
Hillary,
Hillary?
and
and
Who's the
the
guy
loser,
no, who's the guy?
the one who loses.
And comedians are usually liberal. I don't know anybody's position. here,
Christie? Christie?
but, yeah,
Christie, yeah, Christie might. Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
that bridge thing killed
Well,
him.
beat
Yeah,
them
he's
both
done.
up because
He's done.
I don't want to go politics as
Yeah.
far as who's on what side and who's
Yeah.
left,
Yeah.
who's right. We'll keep that as a surprise. So you can beat up everybody.
For me,
if
I'm
you
not.
can.
I'm not political. I mean, there's one issue. I think that people definitely should get extensive background checks. Especially for anyone who wants to purchase a politician. I think
Oh, I agree.
because they're dangerous.
They are
You
dangerous.
never know when
they are
go off.
dangerous.
They can go off
Yes,
at a moment's
you're
notice.
right. Right. They could go off at any time.
Whatever happened to Donald Trump? Wasn't he going to?
I think he's going bankrupt. I think. I'm not really
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, again.
Well, that casino killed him, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, there's another one that's just as dangerous as politics, and that's religion.
Religion, yes.
And you came up with something very interesting before when we were talking in the green room.
Yes.
That would be a really good spot on the show. But I'm not going to get into that. We'll bypass
don't
that
let
'cause
them-
I'm not going
don't
to
let
give that away.
Teaser. A teaser.
It's a
Well,
teaser.
that's it.
Something exciting is going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
Stay
You might
tuned.
see something that's really interesting
Yes, on the Inside TV show.
on the Inside Show. And it's going to be a weekly thing. Anyway,
Is religion the next word? The next word?
yes.
Oh, so a woman's in church, the pastor says on a Sunday, he says, anybody who could afford $100 to donate to the church today, that person could pick out their 3 favorite hymns. The woman stands up. She says, here's my 100. I want him, I want him, I want him. Favorite hymns.
Janine?
Yes.
Yeah, she's laughing. Okay.
I heard that.
If we're on jokes, if you want to hear a joke, it's my only religious joke I know. Frank Perdue Jr. was, the chicken empire. He was invited to the Vatican for a big luncheon. Everybody's there: Pope, cardinals, bishops, all the head priests. Everybody's there. And he sits down, he enjoys his lunch, and afterwards he calls the Pope over, and he says, Frank Perdue calls the Pope over, and he says, I want to I would like to donate $100 million to the Catholic Church. And it's like, wow, that's very commendable. We appreciate that. He goes, no. You know that prayer, thank you, Lord, for this daily bread? I wouldn't like it to now read, thank you, Lord, for this daily chicken. He goes, well, we can't just change that prayer. It's been around, 1,000 years. He goes, I'll tell you what, I'm going to triple it to $300 million. I want that prayer to read, thank you, Lord, for this daily chicken. So the Pope's like, well, that's very commendable, and maybe we can make a few adjustments. He calls back in the bishops and the cardinals, and he says, fellas, we got good news and we got bad news. The good news is Frank Perdue Jr. just donated $300 million to the Catholic Church. The bad news is we lost the Wonder Bread account. I don't know. No more jokes.
Well, there's a topic that always comes up, and even with the last show, it became very serious.
Yes.
The word is comedy.
It's a fine line.
That's a very fine line, yes.
Between
See
comedy
how
and
serious it
tragedy.
just got? Everything went-
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm dating now, and a lot of women don't respect being a comedian as a livelihood. They figure that, you're not really making a lot of money to support her the right way. So I was online the other day. I met a nice girl. She said, what do you do for a living? I said, I'm a comedian. She says, I'm sorry. I have a policy. I don't date comedians. I said, come to my show. I know you'll change your mind. She came to the show. After the show, she came running to me. I could definitely date you. I said, what made you change your mind? She says, I just saw your show. You're no comedian.
Well, as comedians get a bad rap because, first of all, like if you're a lawyer, where do you work? I work for, Waters and Cambridge, And then, comedian, where do you work? I work at Chuckles, or, Wise Crackers. There's no way to take you seriously. That's your
It's a big
employer.
problem, yeah.
No, I'm enjoying the comedy thing. I mean, I haven't got this many laughs since the last time I had sex.
It is.
Well.
I got to hand it to you guys also because it's very hard to get up and say, okay, make me laugh. You may not be feeling right or whatever the case is, and you're going to get in front of a bunch of people, and boom, you got to be funny.
Yeah.
And you guys all are. But it's got to be, you think, hey, here I go. But I guess you guys prep yourselves going, you get just psyched up or whatever it is before you hit that stage. And just as a singer, when I finally get on stage and there's a lot of people to look at, it changes the whole venue. Everything just gets great. So I'm sure that's how it is with you guys.
Well, let me ask you, a comedian, all you need is that first laugh, and then you're fine. What is it when you're a singer? How do you know if they're enjoying you right out of the gate?
Well, even when you're doing big shows, you really can't see past the first row of seats.
Right.
But usually what I try to do is I focus in on somebody, your shoulders, and it looks like I'm looking at you. And the certain response that I get can change the whole thing for me. But I don't know, it's just a high. It's a natural high that you can't explain to anybody who hasn't done it. It's like being a comedian. I can't fathom the feeling that you have up there when somebody starts laughing at you. But usually people start singing along with you, even if I don't even know the words I'm singing.
Right. Sometimes you ask them to sing along to help you with the words.
Well,
Does that happen?
when I started singing with the Bob Knight Four, I was new to the Bob Knight Four. I was their lead singer.
Right.
And they have a bunch of top 10 records and all this stuff
That
back
you've
in the
never
day.
heard of?
Right, that I've never heard of. I never heard them. So now I'm
I
here.
would love to see that concert.
And I'm here, I'm singing on stage. It's a huge stage, a huge concert. And I start singing, and I'm looking, like I say, can't see past the first row.
Right.
And I'm singing, and at one point, I'm making up the words, because I just don't know what the heck the words are.
That's so
And these
funny.
people are singing along with me. And they're singing the words I'm singing.
They knew the wrong words.
They knew the wrong words. So go figure, It's like, okay. But this is the part I like. It's called free-for-all, which is anything you want to talk about.
Yes.
So, anything you want to talk about?
I want to talk about free-for-alls. No.
It's just a topic where you can go anywhere you want. Back to school if you want.
Well, like
You
Rich is he's an instructor at Stand Up University, and I'm a graduate of McGuire's Comedy College,
Right.
which most people have to explain to me. Yes, there is such a thing as comedy college, and it was exciting. It was great. I mean, my parents were so proud. I mean, nobody in our family ever went to college,
Wow. And you graduated.
And
with
I
honors?
graduated with honors. Yeah, the thing was too, but with a pain in the neck, it was getting financial aid. it was tough,
Yeah,
you
it
know.
was
And
tough.
then I wanted the room and board
To
there.
cover the whole $250.
Yeah. Then I wanted the room.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I wanted the room and board there, but they insisted on this 2-drink minimum a day, and it was tough.
That will kill you.
Yes.
Two drink minimum.
But all said
That's
and
really-
done, it was good because when I graduated, you know, we had the graduation party. It was great. I mean, I hadn't been at Chuck E. Cheese in years.
I went to regular college. That was the roughest week of my life.
Well, I tell you what, we're gonna break away for another commercial, sell some stuff, and when we come back, we're gonna start doing some stand up. The first one up at bat is High Powered Howard. So come on back real quick. We have a lot more stuff to do, and a lot more stuff to hear, and a lot more laughs to go.
So much fun.
It's great. It's a great thing. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy from Madhouse TV.
And I am Tommy Marr, also from Madhouse TV.
You can see, hey, listen, guys, we're in New York. I don't know if you can see out the window behind us, but I guess this event that we have for Janine's,
ALS.
yeah, but it's for Janine's
Uncle Harvey.
on ALS, the Vermont Veterans Home 0.5 mile
Which everybody can
family
do.
walk to help find a cure for ALS, and it's coming out Saturday, October 18th. Registration at 12 o'clock. Kickoff at 1:30.
And where it's going to be is at the Vermont Veterans Home at 325 North Bennington, Vermont 05201. And it kicks off, like Tommy said, at 1:30. Registration at noon. And if you want to call Christina, call her at 802-447-2792. 802-447-2792. We here at Madhouse, we support anybody that needs help. And it's something we've always done, right, Tom? And we're here in New York, and we're trying to get it out to Vermont. Everybody in Vermont, do your thing. It's for a great cause. It's a half a mile. Everybody can do a half a mile. And like Tom and I just did the ALS, we got drenched outside here in the parking lot of the studio when it was cold with buckets of ice. But maybe you guys can do yours with some sneakers. It's a lot drier.
You know, ALS is a debilitating disease, and I think it's something that everybody's got to get involved in to help find this cure. And I've always said from day one that we can't do it without the help of the average person out there. And, you know, to walk less than a mile, a half a mile is a little ridiculous. And if you can put those sneakers on and walk that half a mile and help bring a cure by fundraising to this disease, then you know what, it really is worth it. I think that we have to step up to the plate. I know here at Madhouse TV, you know, we're actually honored to be able to do this commercial for you folks out there. So get down there Saturday, October 18th, you know, at 12 o'clock.
And there is going to be live music, family fun, refreshments, the Vermont Arts Exchange, and there's going to be an art bus there. Lots to do. Bring the kids, bring everybody. It's for a great cause. And Uncle Harvey, we're going to dedicate this to you, from Madhouse to you and your lovely niece, Janine. So God
All right,
bless
guys.
you, and get your sneakers on and
Make it
walk for
happen.
ALS.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Guys are coming back live.
Hello, everybody. So it's October 16th. Halloween's around the corner. I'm driving here from Queens. I'm on 110. I passed by Wellwood Cemetery. There was a sign, October 31st, Halloween costume party. Lots of cash and prizes at the cemetery. I walked in. I saw the funeral director. I said, excuse me, who's going to want to go to a Halloween party at the cemetery? He told me he's going to dig up some people. Last year during Halloween, my girlfriend dressed up as Snow White. You remember Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? She looked very authentic. The whole party, she was taking little selfies of herself. On the way home, we stopped at the 1 hour photo. She wanted to make copies of her pictures. The guy at the 1 hour photo said, Snow White, We're getting ready to close. You have to come back another day. She says, but I need my pictures. When can I get my pictures? He said, Sunday your prince will come. Snow White, yeah. So the holidays are coming up. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I get very depressed during the holidays. I don't know why. I decided this year to do something about it. 2 weeks ago, I started to see a psychiatrist. Maybe he could straighten me out why I get depressed around the holidays. Last night, I had a date with my girlfriend. We have no secrets between us. I sat down at the kitchen table. I said, Kathy, we have no secrets. I just want to let you know, the last 2 weeks, I started to see a psychiatrist. She says, fine. For the last 2 weeks, I started to see a fireman and a construction worker. A little miscommunication there. Okay. Okay, so now from the movie West Side Story, a special treat for Halloween. Here's the opening playground scene, but this time it takes place in Israel. Oi! Oi! Thank you.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay, and I pity any girl who isn't me.
Thank you. I'm high-powered Howard. Thank you very much. Have a great holiday, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. How you doing? I'm Joe Capella. Good to be here. So anyway, I've been doing comedy about 6 months, Prior to doing this, I was working loading trucks for 27 years for a company. I remember when I got Employee of the Month. Yeah. Hard to believe in 27 years. Only one good month. I tell you. Yeah. But anyway, I grew up in, a lot of people think I'm Italian, you know. Actually, I grew up in Brentwood. I'm just a Puerto Rican from Brentwood. And, but it wasn't easy growing up because I wasn't your traditional PR. You know, my parents all the time would say, you know, how come you don't dance? You know, you should speak more Spanish. You know, what do you mean you don't like arroz con pollo? I had enough. Finally, I graduated high school. I figured I'd make them happy. Became a janitor. So yeah, but anyway. So Brentwood was it was a tough town growing up there. I mean, there was a lot of gangs there. You know, I think if I still lived in Brentwood, I'd probably start my own over 50 gang. Yeah, the blood clots. Yeah, I even got my people in place already. I got lactose Louie. I got sugar-free Rudy. And then the leader of the pack, B12 Bonnie. Yeah. Let's get ready to rumble! Right after my nap. So anyway, yeah, I'm glad to have my wife here tonight. Yeah, she's been very supportive of me doing comedy. She's actually gotten really turned on by it, improved my sex life. You know, I just hate having to do 5 minutes of stand-up before 3 minutes of sex. Yeah, and I treat her good. And I bought her a Swiffer wet mop for our anniversary. I know, that was a bad idea. Yeah. I had to bring back the refills I bought her for Christmas. But it's tough getting old, though. I'm 53 now, and I got to start getting in shape. I got a treadmill. That didn't work out too good. Kept spilling my beer. Yeah, going to make a few doctor's appointments. Started out with going for a colonoscopy. It wasn't that bad, though. I think the worst part was drinking that stuff the day before to clean you out. That does clean you out. I popped out a marble I swallowed when I was like 8 years old. I tell you. It tastes horrible. It tastes horrible. You know, the doctor said you can mix it with Gatorade. I used to like Gatorade. Now every time I drink Gatorade, I got to take a crap. And there's the dentist. He's always getting on me about flossing. You got to floss. I said I do once in a while. Once in a while. It's like wiping your butt once in a while. So now every time I drink Gatorade, I got to take a crap and then floss afterwards. And the other doctor I went to was a cardiologist. Yeah. He sent me for a stress test. I spent 3 hours with my mother-in-law. Yeah. And last but not least is my daughter. Yeah, she's 23 now, but when she was 13, my wife sent me out and told me she's going to be needing some female protection soon. I said, all right, yeah, whatever. I don't know, I'll get some Kotex. I go to the store and I ask the clerk where the beginners section was. You know, so I get down to the aisle, I find it, and I look up, and holy crap! There was pads and wings everywhere. Oh, I don't know what to buy. I know one thing not to buy. There were these overnight pads. Now, I was pretty sure she had it during the day, too, so, you know. I gave up. I went home. I didn't buy nothing. My wife was like, where are the pads? And why did you buy cotton balls? Thank you. I'm Joe Capella.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Thank you. My name is Todd Turner. It's great to be here. Last week was rough for me. I buried my grandmother. It was sad. It's not what she wanted, but it was so much cheaper than a nursing home. A friend of mine said to me, he said, "That sounds terrible." I said, "It's not as bad as it seems. Don't worry about it. The grass will grow back." So I knew I wanted to do, ever since I was 16, I knew I either wanted to be a stand-up comic or a social worker. Two totally different skill sets. And one, you have to be able to deal with a lot of emotionally damaged people, and the other, you have to get a master's degree in social work. I did that for many years. I had to get out, though, because after a few years of doing social work, it turns you into a beaten down, spiritless shell of your former self. And if I wanted that, I'd just get married, you know. I guess I've always been naive, especially in relationships. I've been way too naive in relationships. I had a girlfriend once who, one night while making love, she called out my best friend's name. And I didn't say anything to her because, well, I mean, in her defense, she was having sex with him at the time. I didn't think there was anything to be concerned about. I mean, I wasn't going to break up with her, but she insisted. So I took the breakup well. In fact, I see her now more than I saw her when we were together. The only difference is now it has to be from 500 feet away. It's not as creepy as it sounds. I have binoculars. I go for younger women, mostly. Younger women are so much easier to hook up with at bars because older women are smarter. You know, they don't fall for the same tricks. They hardly ever leave their drinks unattended. Yeah. So. But that reminds me of something my grandmother said once. She said, "What are you doing with that shovel?" Thank you. I don't bring a lot of random girls home much anymore, and not just because I live with my girlfriend, because I just got tired of the stupid bar conversations that I have with people. One girl asked me, she said, "What would you rather have, a baby or an STD?" I'm like, how am I supposed to answer that, you know? I've never had a baby. But as I alluded to before, I am in a relationship, and it's great. Isn't it weird when you're single, you long to be in a relationship, and when you're in a relationship, you long to be in a strip club? So my girlfriend, she's Portuguese, and I met her in a cafe, and I thought it was weird because she doesn't drink coffee. And I don't know if you know anything about that culture, but a Portuguese person going into a cafe and not having a coffee is kind of like an Irish guy going into a pub and not having a tiny penis. My girlfriend's feeling neglected this week because I've been preparing for a performance this weekend in Jersey. It's not stand-up. We're going to her parents' wedding anniversary party, and I have to act like I care. So she's unhappy with our sex life, and the other day she told me that it's because she thought I was too effeminate. And I think that's unfair because I'm just not willing to do certain things that make me feel uncomfortable. Like the other night, she wanted me to throw her on the bed, tear off her panties, and then promise her that I'd never wear them again. That does not make me effeminate. I was only wearing them because they're slimming to my hips. But I'm trying. I read somewhere that said one way to spice up your relationship is to greet your partner at the front door in the nude. And I thought, well, what could go wrong there? So one day I tried it. I got naked. I went to the door. I opened the door, and that's when I remembered that I had ordered a pizza. The pizza delivery guy just looked at me and he said, I see you're Irish. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. That was some good stuff, my friends. I got Rich Walker, High-Powered Howard, Joe Capella, Todd Turner. I want to thank them all for coming up here and performing and doing all your good stuff. One quick note, Brookside Auto Body. Excuse me, 516-378-9162 at 2108 Sunrise Highway, Montauk, New York, 11566. Play it back a few times. Hopefully he's going to be sponsoring us real soon. And that is going to be the end of the show for us. I'm going to do my little spot that I always get to do, where I get to honor a little God and country. So with that, why don't you guys come on up, join us behind, and we'll take out where I get to honor a little bit of God and country right here. Thank you again, guys. Really, really appreciate it. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our progress to our police departments and our fire departments, and of course our first responders, to our soldiers out there defending our freedom, to the veterans who've been there and done that. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the greatest country in the world. Sing it out here and at home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless God bless America. Our home, sweet home. Good night, everybody. God bless.